another.
Circle gaming.
Guess how many circles Gangplank can have at the same time? That's 3 barrels and a cannon barrage. That's 4 circles, 1 champion.
So we got those circles. Then we got Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
With his ultimate.
That's a circle.
Yeah, we have
heroic entrance and taunt, 2 circles.
Well, yeah, and his
that's
winds as
true.
well.
The Winds of War also a circle.
Gamin has his
Blade Whirl, circle.
Ultimate, circle. Depth charge, circle.
And also the ringy thing that does the slowy stuff that we don't talk about a lot. Also a circle. And I guess T1 got as close to the nuts as you can get with a comp like this. Absolutely fantastic stuff for the very dive-heavy meta that we have found ourselves in. Heck, we saw it last time. And yeah, Renata and Zeri for the bottom lane. And I don't even want to think about that. It's just too scary.
When you do look at the short for her interaction of her ultimate with the Blade Whirl, not quite sure how that one is going to shake out. And then obviously Zeus on his Gna has had impeccable games already, and if you add that to the fact that again FREDIT BRION is kind of going to be forced to go in aggressively, a well-placed defensive ultimate slicing Maelstrom, or if you want to play a little bit more aggro and FREDIT BRION is overextending, remains an opportunity to use that defensively as well. As Owner, seen him play this on stream, and into FREDIT BRION, this is of course the right adaptation. Makes me very, very happy.
Very pleased. The Divine Sunderer Conqueror aspect that we went over yesterday was debuted.
We had a little segment. It was nice.
Yeah. I'm glad that we've prepared everyone for some Conqueror Hecarim. And as you say, very, very good into a short-range composition, which is exactly what FREDIT BRION have put together. Good stuff so far. Whether it means anything is yet to be discovered. As Faker waiting off to the side. We're not going to do too much judgment, as this is actually, it's interesting, because it's a different series than that of a lot of our other call-ups, which have been a ragtag group of both LCK substitutes as well as challenger players and things like this. This is actually a team that has played together.
They have, yeah. They have been together ever since the start of Challengers, with, of course, the exception of Listo, who was added to the team very recently, as a Raptor was called up to the LCK a couple of weeks ago. Up until that point, they were playing with him. But after a rough first couple of games, I do think that Listo has slowly become a lot more comfortable, has helped the team get a few wins left and right, as unfortunately that is another great electrocute proc, and you are going to suffer. Just to, again,
they're
reiterate,
really young.
They're really, again, Listo became 17 4 days ago.
Yes.
At 17, I think if I would have had to play against the undefeated kings of the current LCK, I would be pretty nervous.
If I had to play when I was 17, I'd wonder what the heck League of Legends was.
Well, say this is a hypothetical scenario where League would exist, obviously.
I don't even think I could have played Dota at the time. I'm really old.
Dota 1?
Yeah, I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was. How? I'm trying to remember, because like maybe I think
Warcraft
I think Frozen Throne was out, but it had only recently come out.
There you go. Okay, you had to beat. I thought it was such a great angle, Atlas, and then you.
No, but you're exactly right. I'm just like that only adds to the context of what you're talking about, right? It's like it's absolutely ridiculous. I was in year 11 in high school, you know, doing my best to learn mathematics. As Owner's going to come up, they're looking for Sobero here. Listo, pretty good counter gank timing, but he's like, nah, mate, you're dead. And the pirate is going to be put down. The horse is going to trample him, and Owner picks up first blood.
I think wave state not the worst for Sobero, should be pushing back into him, so at least he'll be able to get that. But specifically into the Conqueror Hecarim, giving up early kills is much more harmful than it will be with the phase rush and chem tank builds that we've been seeing recently. Now Sheen and Boots on his first back, so gonna both help us clear and increase the dueling potential. And honestly, very hard to play into as Guma making good use of Zeri's kit, and as expected, already in the lane we're seeing a lot of pummeling here.
Yeah, that's a one-sided handshake. You thought that a handshake was an agreement. Carrier is showing us that sometimes you can handshake and the other person didn't really want to.
Is it more of an aggressive like pat on the
No,
shoulder, maybe?
it's like when someone falls down, you hold out your hand, and they have to like hold your hand to get back up again.
To like grab it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, haha, now you've agreed. And you're like, no, I was just accepting your help, trying to stand up. It's not an agreement. That's kind of what it felt like there with the handshake.
I can see it. Yeah, not going to fight for the second scuttle, of course, with bot side Prio being in the favor of T1, which I think pre-6 actually does make some sense. Unless you want to all-in, Gamin and Loopy need to be somewhat respectful, and all-inning Guma and Carrier is a risk that maybe they don't want to take. Of course, post-6 changes a little bit when they should have the ability to try and find a little more aggression. And overall, as we could see, even with that gank towards topside, was really good for Ona, but didn't hurt Sobro as much, as he's still able to stay in a decent play farm-wise. But unfortunately, same can't be said for Feisty, and that is the unfortunate reality that you do kind of incur when you pick the Galio. The side laning, the roaming, the map movement is great, but laning phase is nothing to write home about.
Nope, you're not really going to have the shove either. Do you want to know a fun fact?
Hit me.
So when I was 17,
Okay.
it was 2005.
Okay.
Do you know when Listo was born?
2005.
Yeah, I'm literally double his age.
How does that make you feel?
Old. In a word.
Mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that Listo named himself after Callisto?
I don't know.
It would be an interesting one, because as far as Greek mythology is concerned, it's not exactly the classic answer, as Zeus going to come forward, throws down the ulti, and Ona's here, by the way, but he's just moral support, mainly, at this stage.
Oh, yeah. Had they had the ultimate, I think they might have gone for that on Ona. Soboro plays it pretty respectful, also Feisty, of course. Showing some threat of moving towards topside to maybe throw a hero's entrance there, but not gonna actually work out, as Loopy going for a roam timer here.
Yeah, I do like the vision that FREDIT BRION have put together, moving towards that top side, trying to make sure that Sobro is as comfortable as possible. Gangplank will have value in the later stages of the game as these circles begin to converge, right? That's what we're talking about. Certainly, some circles on the side of T1 as well. But I think when it comes to circles, FREDIT BRION definitely are winning. We'll have to keep our eye out for how they're going to be able to utilize them and how T1 is going to play around it, as far as creating the Venn diagrams of doom that FREDIT BRION's comp does have the ability to do. I'm just a little bit worried, right? Because Gumyushi's on Zeri, and we've seen that sometimes Zeri just wins the game at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And she's already winning the game at the start. So
yeah, that's not great. Ooh, Zeus. Wave will be shoving, although right now he is in a still relatively safe position. And yeah, with the camps on bot side coming up, Listo can't really make it work. Would have had to sit there for a little bit longer, unfortunately for him. Zeus, especially with all summons still available, is pretty hard to actually grab a hold of. And yeah, again, unfortunately, this is to be expected when playing into Guma Carrier. I don't think this is necessarily a matchup thing, as much as it is Guma and Carrier being the best bot lane that we have in the LCK. And I mean, and Loopy were really good. We're really good in cast back up, which is not really
against Darmonkia's challenger team.
Yeah. Oh, talking about Greek mythology, Thanatos is actually a player for Darmonkia and
That's not Greek mythology. That's Lost Ark mythology.
No.
Yes, it is.
No,
That's a boss from like...
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The third dungeon.
That's not the original name.
Yeah,
have you not
original.
played Hades?
No, I haven't actually. And don't tell Medic, because you know I'm supposed to be his friend, and I haven't played that game that he got that world record in. That I think he mentioned once. That he got one of those. But yeah, no, I haven't played it. Should I?
It's really good, yeah. I like Super Giant games in general, as Rift Out are going to get started up here, and with the early rotation coming through, yeah, as much as I like the circle comp, you need to have all your circles in place in the right time, and
Circles only get more powerful as well if there are circles on the map. So Dragon Pit, Baron Pit, both very deadly areas to fight with your circles. Raptor Pit, also one of them. That's a circle plus Popcorn Chicken. It's like the edge of the bucket of chicken. They
scale exponentially. I'm loving this cheese attempt, but why wouldn't you just take Drake and get a guaranteed, guaranteed trade?
No.
That's a question for another time, perhaps, as we won't be getting the answer to that one. And yeah, I mean, they know that there is movement. Owner also shadowing here.
Well, electric stuff going through on the bottom side. So he's going to solo kill Zeus on the top side of the map. So I was getting very confused. More circles towards this bottom side as Listo. He's down very low, but he's still going in. He's so excited. The bailout comes down, but it's not going to keep the horse alive, as that is going to be the ulti coming out. S-Rank is there, but still into the death chamber, and Feisty, he's going to have to run this one out, and it's a double kill for Gumayusi. So, while Soboro gets a really cool thing done on the top side of the map, it's pretty much a disaster on the bottom side.
Not pretty much, just a full-on disaster, as that play started off relatively okay, I guess, but the moment that Faker joins, the moment that the rest of T1 is able to stay alive for just long enough, FREDIT BRION, unfortunately, really getting pummeled, kind of an awkward position there as well, and with Listo being as low as he was from the start, he wasn't really able to add as much damage. Nice solo kill, though, on Soboro. That is the one upside to that, unfortunately.
And he's still really dominating this lane. As you can see, pushing this one in. It is going to be very even when it comes to farm and things like that, but a gangplank being ahead is definitely a cool thing, as it was a bit cheesy to start this one off, but man, you flash on top, you get that passive rolling, and there is not a lot that Kennen can do.
Hey, embrace the cheese, right? When you're playing against a better team, why not? And initially, the burst of damage combined with the Berserk means that they are so low right from the get-go. Unfortunately, a lot of that damage goes into Owner, who dies very slowly. And Gamin doesn't really have the items yet. Great positioning from Gumayusi there as well. And now you have a 2-0 Zeri, and it's Gumayusi. So overall, that went very poorly for FREDIT BRION. But they made the play, they tried to commit, and in the end, just didn't quite pan out the way that they were hoping for. Soboro!
Yeah, he's in trouble. He does have oranges, but he's not going to be K, unfortunately. The last auto is going to come through. Actually, Owner picks that one up in the end. I was about to say that I really kind of wanted to call Soboro Solo Boro. Oh, because that'd be kind of cool, but then he died.
Bro Solo Boro?
Yeah, it's like Solo Bolo Soboro.
Bro Solo Bolo Soboro.
Yeah, it really does. It's a tongue twister. It's a difficult one. Depth Charge comes through here on the bottom side as Garmin's trying to get this done, but he has to use his cleanse early. Loopy's just going to die. Feisty comes down towards the bottom side, but Garmin might just be dead. And Feisty's like, nah, man, I don't think we can do this. Listo's also like, nah, these guys are too scary. No. They are too scary. The flash goes forward. The handshake is not one that Listo wanted. As he throws out the ult, he should be able to kill Carrier here, but it's another kill to Gumayusi, and that's exactly what T1 wanted.
And we're 30 minutes in, just shy of, and it is a 7.5k gold lead for T1, unfortunately.
Where the heck did that come from?
Well,
there's
they got
dead in a turret in the top lane.
Yeah, they got two turrets on top. And also, Gumayusi got another kill. 2 kills. And
I feel like that all happened while we were trying to work out how to say Bro Solo Bolo Soboro.
Yes. There's not a lot of time here. Unfortunately, for Soboro, as good as you are in the 1v1, when Hecarim visits your lane, you are generally not going to have the best of time. And the cross-map play is with full vision, right? So this is clearly a attempt at FREDIT BRION to try and force a play on the bot side of the map, as the top side of the map is being aggressively engaged upon. Unfortunately, as
in the meantime, Luke's dead.
Okay, I'm just gonna gloss over that. I don't think this turret is gonna stand for a lot longer. As I was saying, they try to make a bot side play. The communication isn't quite there. They engage too early on Gumayusi and Carrier, and if you engage too early on Gumayusi and Carrier,
you die.
You die, yeah. Well, Carrier died eventually.
He did. However, Gumayusi is still sitting on 5-0 and 2, and he has a 3,000 lead. So that's where all that money is.
Well, it's everywhere, really.
It's okay though, isn't it, Chronicler? Because Zeri doesn't have very high range. FREDIT BRION can outrange, right?
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 Right? No. Well, her base range is pretty low.
Yeah.
If she misses everyone with her ultimate, it's not that amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Samira's really high range, right?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that part.
Oh no. Cannon Barrage is global, so that's pretty high range. Okay.
It feels like kind of the dire situation that only Bro Solo Bolo Soboro can help us with. As Faker sees the gang coming, it's like, no, I don't think I'll fall for that. Actually, goodbye.
That charm into the Justice Punch was
Yeah, it doesn't even need
just
to use his
fantastic.
Spirit Rush.
Yep.
Yeah.
He might use it just to try and get some kills here, as Ona's going to wrap around, looks for Garm in here, but that's just going to guarantee that turret. Loopy is going to kill a minion with his Dredge Line, and Gumayushi feels like he does like 4 trillion damage with each Q, and that's kind of what's happening. In fact,
And you know what? This
Soboro's still having a good time. You know, like he's like, I'm just going to work on my mechanics this game.
Yeah.
This one's an FF, but I'm just going to make sure that I have the best game possible. It's exactly the kind of top lane mentality that you want to see. Still playing it out the entire way through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think this is
Yeah, Feisty is going to have to flash as the charm does come through, but he does keep himself alive for now. 10,000 gold lead here as we're cresting the 16-minute mark. Is absolutely no surprise, right? And we're trying to have some fun here, and we just need to make sure that everyone knows that FREDIT BRION, this is their challenger roster, right? As they're going to flash forward. Nice charm come through from Faker there, though, as the Extendo Electro Beam is going to do a fair bit of work here, and there is just too much money and too much damage on T1 as Gumayushi grabs yet another kill on this Zeri. Early game champion, I'm pretty sure, as Carrier is gonna have to walk this one out as the Everfrost does come through, but yeah, FREDIT BRION, no vision. They don't want to overextend.
No, I could have definitely killed Carrier here, but we know that, but they don't. And this is a really good opportunity to talk about the kind of, I don't know, what the concept of the higher you get, right, in the skill curve of anything really, the bigger the difference has become, interestingly enough. Because if you put this FREDIT BRION roster in 99.99% of situations of League players worldwide, they do really well. And still, we are 15 minutes in, and they are getting demolished. So like, and the reason why I really want to highlight this is because, again, within the context of challengers, this team has had their fair share of struggles, but they're able to match pretty decently, right? They're able to, at times, find good plays, expose mistakes that their opponents are making, and then you just see that the LCK, it's something else entirely. Like it's
and T1 are then something else entirely.
Then the entire LCK.
That. Yeah. No, it's really good to be able to mark that. As Faker's going to die here in the mid lane. That is going to be Garmin that picks up that kill. So a little bit of an overextension there from Faker, while the rest of his team was taking everything around the map. And honestly, you could say that Faker was buying time, self-sacrifice there in the mid lane, but was also just a little bit of an overextend.
A little bit of anti-synergy there.
Feisty not going to find any justice punches here.
Carrier handshaking them away.
Oh dear, the wind becomes lightning, but he's just going to be avoided. It's a heroic entrance though, decent flash, but the ulti comes through, and it was Ona just by himself in amongst so many, but it doesn't seem to matter. The Spirit of Dread keeping him alive. And Gumayushi's going to grab yet another one, dashes over the wall, picks up another kill. This could be a triple, as Feisty goes golden for a moment, and by could be, I mean is going to be a triple. Throws out a celebratory Q the other direction, but otherwise he's going to be able to pick this one up, as now Soboro is like, what happened on the rest of the map? Oh god! As the Divine Sunderer was there, as well as the Dead Man's Plate for Ona, and he just executes the Pirate. This one's done in under 20 minutes. There is no surprise, but T1 really did wrap this one up quickly.
As is to be expected, that doesn't make it less unfortunate, Atlas, as the FREDIT BRION Challenger teams did, I think, the best that could be reasonably expected from them, but
absolutely,
there's a lot of situations where your best isn't good enough, and when it comes to playing against the best team in the LCK by an incredibly large margin, This is no shocking outcome.
That is absolutely true. And a definite shellacking here in game number 1. But we have to remember that Soroboro got a solo bowler, and that is definitely cool. On his gangplank towards that top side. They tried to go for a composition that was going to be able to work with all of their circles and get some early game leads, but they were unable to get that one done, as that Phoenix Wright is absolutely awesome. T1 fans, I think that they are definitely the best when it comes to artwork on fan sides.